John Yakuza is back, and this time his best friend, the guy who we met like 10 minutes before the end of the last game and made the boss of the biggest crime syndicate of Japan, is shot right in front of his face. War is brewing between the Yakuza of East and West, and some shifty foreigners are also being a menace to the upstanding denizens of Kamurocho, and only a certain Yakuza retiree can stop this looming threat. Tadada's final request was for him to bring a letter and a proposed alliance to the Omi leader men of West. Some of the Tojo men have issues with this, but Kiryu doesn't. Before embarking, he goes to find the son of the man he once didn't kill, and beats him up, forcing him to go back into the life of organized crime. He takes Daigo and takes the Shinkansen to Osaka, and this video is not sponsored by Boss Coffee. Wei runs into the asshole-in-chief of the Omi Alliance. Thus we meet another very normal character in this very normal video game series. Ryuji Goda, who really doesn't like being called the Dragon of Kansas, and if you do, he'll have a very appropriate reaction to it. They have a little kerfuffle which luckily doesn't escalate, as this man is not Kiryu Kazuma, the Dragon of Dojima. The Dragon of Kansas would not be able to tolerate that. This asshole is actually pretty nice, even brought some fireworks to Kamurocho for the Tojo to enjoy. Kiryu and Daigo make their way to Omi HQ and have a meeting with the nice old man chief and his troop of raging assholes. The Omi leader agrees to the deal, but King Asshole raids the party, as he does not agree with his clan's plans to make friends with their enemy. First, he pummels Daigo, then he fights Kiryu, and then he loses to Kiryu, but like, only because he was already weakened. Kiryu is then arrested by the so-called Yakuza Huntress, a policewoman, whose actual task is to take him into protective custody, and who is shot about 5 minutes later. He takes her dying self along to the next bar. Smart thinking. Through investigating, it turns out this bullet smells just like this guy, and apparently this other gentleman has put a big ass bounty on Kiryu's head. And apparently, Daigo and Old Man have been kidnapped and will seemingly be found in Kamurocho. But before that, let's explore Salt and Body just a little bit more. Osaka has a tendency for rather eccentric personalities to show up. Maybe there's something in the water Kiryu keeps throwing people into. Though Kiryu isn't much less strange than the strangest of them. Kink-shaming honest men, single-handedly keeping alive the adult diaper economy. Or starring in gay porn and then beating up the director for some reason. He's also taken a shine to competitive sink pissing. During his misadventures, he stumbles into the cabaret club For Shine, run by an old acquaintance of our favorite doggy man. He is forced into servitude by having morals and wanting to help these ladies. So before we can continue with unraveling the murderous conspiracies that are such a mainstay in our beloved gangster's life, we will step into the footsteps of Big Brother Majima and beat all our rival pimps into submission while stealing their girls, for our soon-to-be whore monopoly is ethically sourced. Before going to meet Daigo's captors, Kiryu realizes that a certain lieutenant of old must be brought back to keep the Tojo safe, and this certain man has put the Yakuza life behind and has taken up an honest man's occupation. He's a caring boss and a stable genius, and the new proprietor of the florist's old lair. But he won't come with him just like that. First, he must go through iconic video game character Gary Buster Holmes. And then he demands a rematch with Kiryu, if he is to come along. Majima, in his honest construction dealings, is also having multiple turf wars, which we will help out with. The only problem is the gameplay here sucks balls, and the story is about as interesting as England's footy. DLC never looked this tempting, and Date and his police senpai who loves shooting people go to Kazuki to warn him about the police who are pestering nightclubs to find illegal Koreans working. Not that Kazuki would be one of them, of course, just letting you know. Kazuki runs away, and both the police party and the Kiryu party are baited into this bizarre situation where Kazuki is revealed to be a secret Korean doppelganger and is shot to death. But don't worry, the real Kazuki is fine. He's also shot, but he's fine. While they're at the clinic for the recently received injuries, some thugs conveniently come by to get beaten up and tell us who they work for. The Jingwon Mafia from Korea, which is strange because this mafia was destroyed many years ago. The next problem arises. Date has been made suspect of Kazuki's murder, thanks to a tape that had been sent to the police not by the florist himself, but by an imposter underling of his. To get Daigo's whereabouts from CIA man, we first face this guy. Sadly, Yakuza 1 killed off so many iconic characters that they had to start hailing people like this PS1 ass looking guy as exciting returning faces. And then Sayama has to play some 1v1s on Rush, luckily she is a gamer. With Daigo's location known, it is not much of a task to raid the old whorehouse to get to him. Daigo is saved, But the next problem. At the old chairman's funeral, a bunch of Kansas thugs attack. Not on the dragon's orders though. And then he spawns in to talk some smack and despawns immediately. The Omi also attack Kamurocho and face the wrath of the mad dog. Kiryu, after leaving and re-entering HQ, stumbles upon an unsavory scene. Nishiki's bitch boy MILF hunter Shindo has conspired to murder the Tojo's officers and has taken the rest of them hostage because he wants to score both the clan and the clan MILF. He dies soon thereafter. Another detail is brought to light. The policeman who likes killing in Lady Cop's Osaka police boss man were the detectives on the case of the slaughter of the Korean mafia, carried out by the Tojo elites of old. Only 3 secret Koreans have survived. I'm sure there won't suddenly be any more survivors popping up. Back in Osaka, Kiryu experiences a rare taste of happiness. So rare, in fact, that it lasts all of one evening. Yakuza protagonists are not meant to be happy. We soon visit the one known survivor of the murder spree and learn that there's actually 5 survivors: the chief's wife and child, this guy, and 2 unknown figures. Will we ever meet them, I wonder? Also, plot twist, Kiryu was actually also there that night. Before I can elaborate, our new friend, who by the way backstabbed the chief's wife who Lady Cop believes to be her mother, dies, and his killers die. After that awful business is over with, Kiryu does elaborate. Kiryu, as a wee lad, was there that night after following his Yakuza dad who was acting a bit sus, thinking he would protect Kazama, but actually unwittingly foiling his plan of saving the Koreans by making him kill them instead. Whoops. Surprisingly, Sayama is not too happy about Kiryu playing an instrumental part in killing her assumed father. Kiryu is depressed about how dumb he is, and promptly gets stabbed by a homeless man for some reason. He wakes up in the bar with Lady Cop's bar mother, who has a note for him, which she found in his pocket. From this guy, via this guy, Haruka has been kidnapped, once again, to lure him into a trap. Hell of a way to send a message. Could have just killed him, you know? Kiryu heads over to Osaka Castle to save her. Osaka Castle splits open to reveal a smaller, golden era Osaka Castle. Why? Do not ask that question. This is lore now. He fights ninjas and samurai and Tiger drops some tigers and gets her back. The weird Dojima wannabe is killed by Ryuji for being pretty crungo. And also Kiryu and Sayama have made up now. In the meantime, Data has been kidnapped by a secret Korean. Everyone heads there so it can dramatically be revealed that Killer Cop is Lady Cop's dad. And then people be shooting. Kawada, what a man you are. You killed those foreigners for us. Back in the homeless village, we could really use the florist's abilities, considering the Koreans have planted bombs all over Kamurocho and the police doesn't give a shit. As luck would have it, Majora comes in for the support. And Daigo rallies the gangster clan to take care of the hidden explosives. After a bit of work, only 1 bomb is left, in the hands of Majima, and as soon as that's taken care of, now another piece is added to the mess of a jigsaw puzzle that is the massacre of the Jingwon. The baby that was saved that night is none other than Ryuji, our next secret Korean, which makes him Sayama's brother. The very Ryuji we may face on top of Kamurocho Hills to end this plot once and for all. Now I should warn you, once you go up these stairs, the story will truly stop making sense. The dragon of Dojima faces the dragon of Kansas, and so does Sayama. Old man Goda is being kept here. After a cheeky fight of the Yakuza 2 who are like a dragon, there's a twist. Terada is alive. Everything went according to his keikaku. He was a secret Korean all along. He wanted revenge on the Tojo, and here we are. And there's another twist. This scheming fucker was evil. Turns out he was a secret Korean? No, he wasn't actually. But he worked with them, because of reasons. He commits elder abuse and also betrays his partner. Please, trust me. You know about the thing I said. Please, the bomb. Trust me. Sorry about being evil. Stuff. This video is sponsored by. He activates the final bomb. Ryuji gets back up and kills the evil man, and now the 2 dying dragons decide to fight one last time. You may wonder if there is a lore reason for why these 2 are fighting still, when there's a bomb there, and when they're both dying from blood loss, instead of running away and visiting a hospital. You may wonder if they're stupid. Well, a real man's gotta be a little stupid, so we fight. Ryuji fucking dies and Kiryu starts making up with this girl over the corpse of her brother. They decide to just die here. Surely Haruka won't mind. Actually, everyone is alive, except, well, Mr. Goda here. He's not coming back. Except maybe in Like a Dragon 9, Curse of the Lost Yakuza, where a suspiciously familiar man tends to the party at the bar. At least Kiryu and Sayama will live together happily with Haruka now. I'm sure she won't disappear to America at the start of the next game. Huh?